First edition of miscellaneous information connected with the Persian Gulf, extracted from Bombay government records, edited by R.Hughes Thomas. I'm Adam Douglas, Senior Specialist in Books at Peter Harrington, and I'd like to show you this fascinating volume. As you can see, it's in its original library cloth binding with a printed label. It's part of a series of British government reports, and this is really a report from a crucial period of political affairs in the Persian Gulf when the British were really important there. They're Bombay government records because it was the trade travelling through the Persian Gulf from Britain onto India that how the British had first achieved any kind of political control in the Gulf, and they'd helped establish what they then called the Trucial States, which is now the modern United Arab Emirates. And the British were the leading political power, having got rid of all the pirates in the Gulf. And this is a volume with a massive amount of information in it. As you can see from this wonderful prolix title page, it's only selections from the records of the Bombay government. It's volume number 24, new series, and it contains historical and other information connected with the province of Oman, Muscat, Bahrain, and other places in the Persian Gulf, and so on. Huge amount of information on all these regions, ending here at the bottom with measures adopted by the British government for the suppression of the slave trade in the Persian Gulf, which slave trade had been largely conducted through Zanzibar. So the suppression of that was an important part of the suppression of the slave trade generally by the British in the mid-19th century. It's printed in Bombay, and it's really in remarkably good condition. It has an awful lot of papers with maps, fold-out tables and various other kinds of displays of information. This is a harbour plan, Koweit. And in the front here, we got a particularly large map which is in this specially designed pocket in the front cover. And the map slips out, and we can see, well, perhaps we won't be able to even fit it on the camera, but it's an enormous map. Folded away there, which shows the whole Arabian Peninsula with the Red Sea on this side, the Persian Gulf on the other. So it shows the whole, it's described as a map of Maritime Arabia. And this was what was important to the British at the time. And this establishing of political stability in this region was part of their achievement at this time, and left the British influential in this area until fairly recent times. Arguably still has some residual influence. Now, this copy was the property of a man called Colonel Miles, who was an author who isn't perhaps as well known as he should be, because he died before completing his book, his major work on the people and tribes of the Persian Gulf. And his widow bequeathed his books to the Bath Public Library, and we can see the label here, which is hidden away rather neatly, if I can show you there. And it sat in Bath Public Reference Library, and I venture to guess it wasn't consulted too often because it really is in excellent condition. And I think if it had been widely consulted, then we'd be looking at a lot more damage to the binding. Very handsome tribute to her husband, who'd been a diplomat and a keen student, a scholar of the history and politics of the region. So at this really interesting phase, this is a wonderful political memento of that. For more details on this and other works about the Middle East and other aspects of political history, please visit our website.